Hey, I'm Oliver. In this video, I'm showing how I use the study cycle to learn more in less time and avoid last minute cramming. The goal here isn't to study more, but to study smarter by using memory in the way it actually works. The study cycle is a simple loop that turns classes into active learning. I'll show you what that looks like in my classes and how you can try it today. So what exactly is the study cycle and what does it do? Essentially, the study cycle is a loop that repeats every time you go to class. Instead of treating class, homework, and studying as separate events, this pulls them together into one connected routine. It helps you stay engaged, build memory step by step, and avoid that last minute cram panic that I know most of us have had. Zooming in a little bit, we can look at step one of the study cycle, which is preview. Before class, spend just 5 to 10 minutes skimming, not studying, not taking notes, just warming up your brain. Look at the headings, look at the slides, and write down 2 to 3 questions you think the lecture will answer. This primes your brain to recognize and connect information when you actually hear it. It's like stretching before a workout, and it prevents strain later. An example of this would be these guiding questions from my Anthropology 1102 class. From my notes the day before, I included all of these, and I sat before class and wrote these all down because I knew that during the next lecture, these would help guide for my notes for that lecture. Jumping to step 2, we've got attend. I have a very bad attention span and I can get pretty distracted easily. For large lectures, I always need to sit in the front and center and keep my phone in my backpack silenced the whole time, or else I'll get distracted. I take my notes very intentionally and really focus on pushing myself to explain everything to its logical ending, because you can always ask yourself if it can be explained further. During class, the key to stay active instead of copying the slide word for word. Focus on the instructor's connections, the why, and the how. I like using marks in the margins like a question mark for confusing things or a star for something likely to be on the exam and an arrow for links to things we've learned before. If you do that, reviewing later becomes so much easier. Step 3 of the study cycle is very vital. Even if it's just on my walk to another class, I like to look at my notes on my phone and fill in as many gaps as possible. Those gaps are oftentimes huge disconnects that really show when taking a test, as ideas don't flow properly and it can confuse you when you're trying to visualize your notes in your head. So just taking time to review for 10 minutes after class, you can put it on your calendar just to remember when you're walking away. It can really make a huge difference. Step 4 of the study cycle, which is one of the most prominent ones, is studying. When you study later, you want to retrieve and not reread. Close your notes and try explaining the idea to yourself. Then check what you got wrong and improve it. An example of this would be in my geography class. I started with a blank map of the southeast US and I redrew it from memory, stating outlines, rivers, and ports. Then I revealed the answers with a key. Missed locations go into an error log with a quick rule like, oh, Savannah sits on the Savannah River near the Georgia-South Carolina line. Next, I can retest those first and continue until I can do it all without messing up. This is its own study cycle within the study cycle, and you can use the 3R loop, which is retrieve, reveal, and review, to help with this. In my own personal experience, I found that teaching and reviewing with peers is the most effective way. I meet with 2 to 3 classmates once a week in a dorm study room, and we all take a mini exam created with AI, because AI can be a great tool if you're trying to test yourself, and it can also grade you. After the exam, we take turns explaining the problems to each other based on who got what wrong. One of the most important things is not to wait until the last minute, because it takes a long time to get things down before you can teach them and before you can test yourself on them, or else you'll just be getting everything wrong. And it's pretty hard to teach other people things if you don't know what you're talking about. There are a few obstacles that come with the study cycle, and one of those is staying consistent. It's so hard to do anything consistently, whether it's working out or studying or eating healthy. And Just sticking with your notes and prevailing will get you such a long way. And some solutions to this are if you forget to preview, you could do it the night before. If you get distracted in class, move to a different spot or move close to the front where you can't go on your phone. If you don't know what you're studying, start with your question marks from the previous notes. And the goal here is not perfection, it's just to repeat the loop often enough that the material becomes familiar. If you stay consistent and you stick with the loop, it will work. Using the study cycle cut down my stress, improved my quiz scores, and made lectures feel more purposeful. It's best to start small, preview for 5 minutes, review right after class, and schedule just 2 40-minute retrieval blocks this week. Once the loop starts, it keeps paying off. Try for one class and see the difference. You can use this checklist that I've created on the right-hand side of the screen to help with that.